People ignored the little girl's shout, until a German shepherd jumped in and did the unbelievable. 7-year-old Janice was a shy, gentle girl with a love for nature. One sunny afternoon, while walking home from the park, she found herself cornered by 2 older boys on bicycles. They teased and shouted, circling her like predators. Terrified, Janice stood frozen, clutching her small backpack. Just when her tears started to fall, a stray German shepherd appeared out of nowhere. His fur was dusty and matted, but his presence was powerful. He growled, barking loudly, sending the boys scattering in fear. Janice stared at the dog, her tiny hand trembling, but his soft brown eyes reassured her. He wasn't a monster, he was her protector. Word spread in the neighborhood about the brave stray who had saved a little girl. But not everyone saw him as a hero. A group of rough teens claimed the dog was dangerous. Days later, Janice heard yelling outside. They had cornered the German shepherd and were throwing sticks at him. She screamed for them to stop, but the dog, though battered, managed to escape. Janice searched for him every day afterward, calling out, but he was gone. Her heart ached for the hero she hadn't even had a chance to thank. Weeks later, while on a morning walk with her dad, Janice spotted a familiar shape near an old abandoned barn. There he was, lying in the dirt, limping, thin, and covered in bruises. Janice ran to him, tears streaming. "It's you, my hero," she whispered, wrapping her small arms around his neck. He whimpered softly, as if he recognized her voice. That day, she begged her parents to let her bring him home. They agreed, seeing how much the dog meant to her. Janice named him Shadow, because he had come into her life like a quiet protector, always watching over her. Shadow was wary at first, flinching at sudden movements and cowering near corners. Janice spent hours every day sitting beside him, reading stories aloud, offering treats, and brushing his tangled fur. Slowly, Shadow began to trust again. One morning, for the first time, Shadow placed his paw gently in her lap. Janice smiled through tears. She whispered, "We're family now." From that day, they were inseparable. During the summer, Janice's family enrolled Shadow in a rescue training program for dogs, a program that taught animals to help in real emergencies. Though it was mostly adults and older teens, Janice insisted on being part of every lesson, learning alongside Shadow. Shadow surprised everyone. He learned to track scents, find hidden objects, and even respond to commands with unmatched intelligence. Trainers said he had the heart of a true hero. But there was one problem: fire. Whenever the trainers introduced controlled fire during a rescue drill, Shadow froze and backed away, trembling. His past trauma with abusive teens, who had once burned things to scare him, had left him terrified. Janice refused to give up on him. One day, during a practice session, she held his face and whispered, "You're not alone anymore. I'm here." With gentle encouragement and trust-building exercises, she led him closer each time. But during one drill, Shadow panicked and bolted. Janice ran after him, tripping and hurting her knee. Instead of hiding, Shadow turned back, realizing she needed him. That was the breakthrough moment. He returned, nuzzled her hand, and together they walked past the fire. By the end of the summer, Shadow passed every test with flying colors. The rescue team awarded him a medal and officially recognized him as a certified rescue dog. To everyone's surprise, Janice was also honored as a junior handler for her courage and unwavering belief in Shadow. The crowd applauded, and Janice hugged Shadow tightly, whispering, "We did it, buddy. You're not just my hero anymore. You're the world's hero." Back home, Janice and Shadow were celebrated by their community. Shadow, once a wounded and abandoned stray, now wore a shining rescue vest. They would spend their days not just as friends but as a team, ready to help others in need. As Janice looked into Shadow's soulful eyes, she realized that love, patience, and trust had turned their pain into purpose. Together, they had conquered fear and become true heroes. Love and trust can heal even the deepest wounds. No matter how broken someone is, with kindness and belief, they can rise and shine like a hero.